I just started Alp du Zwift. Who the hell said this is fun? So in the last video I shared with you the story about how we got here. About how we decided to make the change to our fitness by the Zwift ride. We started with a 12-week program, started enjoying races after that, and to the point where I was injured. Now this episode is about where I am today. It's about the medical stuff. It's all about the baseline numbers. That's what this episode is. This episode is the baseline. Everything's going to be measured off what we discuss here today. But before we get into that, I know some of you want to know, was I able to complete the Zwift Games? Answer to that, yes, I was able to complete the Zwift Games. So stage 5 was called the 3 Step Sisters, and it finishes with a grade climb. It was the longest and hardest ride that I've done to date. Was it good? Was I good in it? No. It wasn't pretty. My back still seized up towards the end to a point where I couldn't actually sit up on the bike. But I knew that wasn't the injury, that was just discomfort on my back. So that was safe. And I did finish it, which was the thing. So I was happy at the end of the day. Overall, it wasn't too bad. Went out there, raced it, got dropped by the front pack quite early on, kept with some few friends as we progressed through, and when we got to the grade, my wife had already done it before me. So what we learned from her attempt was a constant effort was the easiest way to get through it. So I set my cadence and what I was going to do. If my cadence started to drop because the incline was getting too high, I dropped the gear. So I just tried to maintain the cadence of 40 to 55, 45 to 55, and that's what I did. I finished it in less than 2 hours, hour 40 something. I finished it in whatever the time I put up here. So after stage 5, we did stage 6A, which was a time trial. My wife had done just before I jumped on for the time trial, she did stage 6B, which was the crit race. And in that she put her best effort in that she'd ever have. And she got an increase to her FTP. So by the time I jumped on to do the TT, or time trial, I knew I couldn't let my wife beat me. So I had to make sure that I put in the hardest effort that I could. And I did. I just went for it. So I put in 100% effort. 100% of my effort. It's about 30% of some of the other guys I see on Zwift, but it was 100% of my effort, and I finished the TT in just under 20 minutes. My legs were dead, and I was happy I did get another increase in my FTP. So my FTP now is sitting at 140 something, I believe. There it is there. So we got the increase in FTP. Now, here's a public service announcement. Nobody told me this. Now, if you're a larger bloke and you're introducing yourself, so you just started wearing bib shorts, one of the things that may happen is that when you're leaned over riding the bike, your stomach could cause a crease in the bib shorts, and all the sweat from your upper half will get caught at that crease because the bib shorts don't absorb your wet as well. So what then happens is when you get up off the bike, all that sweat will then just go naturally straight down the easiest way it can, which is down through your groin, which can make you think that you lost control of it can make you think you pissed yourself. So I thought initially, I was like, oh god damn, I think I pissed myself, and it was, I think, maybe something happened with the seat. Maybe I've injured myself down there, and I've lost control of my stuff. But I soon figured out that it was sweat. So if that happens to you, don't be concerned. It could quite possibly just be that your fat stomach creased up the clothes and you built a sweat swimming pool, and then it all just comes down at once. But yeah, thinking that my piping had just burst was a little concerning for the 3 seconds it took me to realise. Now that the public service announcement's done, we'll get on to the Alp du Zwift attempt. So for my birthday, I thought that I'd spoil myself, turning the big 41, and I thought, you know what better way than to torture my body and do Alp du Zwift. I don't know what I was thinking. I do. Originally, I thought that I'd do Alp du Zwift 6 months after I started this journey. And then my birthday started coming near, and I was like, maybe that's a good, let's just give it a go then. So we gave it a go. I tried to capture some footage. I've been having issues. I use a DJI Pocket 3 to capture me, and OBS to try and get the image off the computer stuff for the Zwifting. But the technical difficulties and stuff happens, you know how it is. So I'm still learning that process, so hopefully it gets better and I can get some actual footage for you guys. But the attempt was really fun. The first 20 minutes absolutely destroyed me. I didn't know what I was doing and I was regretting every piece of it, but that's because I go into stuff like this. I still haven't worked out how to prep. That's what it is. How to prepare my body for the stuff that we're getting into. So stretching, warm-ups, all that sort of things. I just do what I did in my youth, and when it's time to do it, I go out and do it. I did it with sports. I'd skip the warm-ups and go out and just play. And every time, it's the first 20 minutes kills me, and then once the body gets into it, we're fine after that. Which is exactly what happened with the Zwift attempt, with the Alp du Zwift attempt. 20 minutes of absolutely torture and me regretting myself, followed by another long time of just powering through. I was really happy that I did it. I got it done in an hour. How long did it take me? I got it done in an hour 48. I was really happy with that time. I didn't want to go out there and push too hard and not achieve my attempt. I didn't want that to happen. As I've said, this is the baseline. I want to use this as a yearly thing so that I see where my fundamental fitness is. And I think Alp du Zwift is a good way to sort of measure that. So I do follow a couple of other Zwift YouTubers. There's Liam Shaw, Ryan Condon, and Jessica Strange. Those are the 3 main ones that I follow. There are some other ones that do all the races and that, but I do like their content. And with watching especially Ryan and Liam's, their attempts at Alp du Zwift, I realized that the thing that I needed to do was just a nice constant effort. Exactly what I did on the grade. So I knew it was going to be longer. Grade's supposed to be 20 minutes, or I've seen someone did 8 minutes. It's ridiculous. You shouldn't be that fast. But I knew it was going to be longer, and so I put in the effort. I was just there to maintain a constant speed and do the best I could. I did get some footage. Here's footage of me within the first 20 minutes.
Now I've heard you just got to go nice and steady. My hip's starting to go already. Holy heck. I was not expecting this. Is this supposed to be it? The whole way like this? 21 of these? What's up? I just started. I'm on the first uphill piece. It's fucked.
And now here's footage of me at the end.
So, that was Alp du Zwift. It's good fun. Obviously I paced myself, averaging, I think I averaged 200 watts throughout the whole thing, but it was nice. I'll definitely try it again when I cut down, just to see how much of a difference, hey boy, how much of a difference that makes. But yeah, it was fun, well worth it. Still have some left in the tank, but not much. Like, the legs are done. The cardio came there, that came in, but the legs by then, I was only just pushing. So, yeah, happy 41st birthday to me. Alp du Zwift, done. We'll do it again next year.
Now, as I said, it took me an hour 48 to get this done, and I'm happy with that time. That's, as I said, it's my baseline, and I aim to get faster when I do it again in 6 months. But what that shows you is just the absolute euphoria you can feel going through or putting in an effort into sports and training. Because in that post attempt review, body feels good, and I'm saying I think I've got a bit more energy and I can do faster. What it doesn't show is the 20 minutes later when the body started to seize up. I'm stuck on the ground, I can't feel my legs. My daughter's asking me to help her, and I had to crawl to the toilet to assist her. It's interesting. So yeah, I felt really good after it. 20 minutes later, I was dying. So I know that I put in a really good effort. So one of the things that I got done was a Dexa scan. Okay, for those of you who don't know, it's a tool that can be used, or a scan that can be done to help distinguish your body composition. It's basically the most accurate way to measure what's actually going on inside your body. It doesn't just tell you what you weigh, it tells you how much of that is fat, how much is muscle, how much is bone, and where it all sits. A set of scales will give you one number, this thing just gives you the full picture. So here are my numbers. At 128.7 kilos on the scan, my total body fat was 29.6%. That means roughly 38 kilos of fat and about 87 kilos of lean muscle mass. My lean muscle mass index is 25.3, which is actually above the normal range for men. So even at this weight, I'm carrying a decent amount of muscle, and that's pretty good news. Now, the number that I care about most is this one, visceral adipose tissue. That's the fat that wraps around your organs, your heart, your liver, your kidneys. You can't see it from the outside, and it's the one that's linked to heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and a whole list of other things you don't want. Now, the scan measures it in square centimeters. Under 100 is normal, 100 to 160 is increased risk, above 160 is high risk. Mine is 327. That's double the high risk threshold. Now, there's no sugarcoating that. That number needs to come down. But here's why I'm glad I did this. Because now I actually know. I'm not guessing. I'm not stepping on the scales and hoping. I have a real number, and in 12 months, I'm going to do the scan again, and we're going to see exactly what consistent training does to that sort of number. So that's the baseline. Alp du Zwift has been set, hour 48. Dexa scan's been done. We know we've got way too much fat, especially visceral fat, and we need to work on that. I know exactly where my body is, and now it's time to build it up from here. The next episode, I'm going to show you something that I've done a bit differently. I've been using Claude AI to help me build a custom training program to get to the 500k. I used it as well to help my wife with her custom training program to achieve a triathlon. Now I'm going to walk you through everything I did to get that. It's not about having a coach or spending a lot of money on a plan. It's all about using the tools we have available to us now to build something that actually works and works for your life. That's the important part of it. And then in April, end of April, I'm going to live stream my 50k. So that's going to be coming right here on YouTube. If you want to join me, if you want to follow along, hit the like and subscribe. You'll get a notification when I do go live. You can jump on and have a chat, leave a comment. Alp du Zwift gets ridden in 6 months' time. So we're going to do that every 6 months, and the Dexa scan will get done again. Whether that's at the 6-month mark or the 12-month mark, I'm still deciding. But we'll see what the numbers are when we get to that part. So as I said, the 500k is still the goal. And this is just a starting line to really start the push and really start going forward. As I said, hit the likes, subscribe. You'll get notifications of when the videos go up. This has been episode 2. Episode 3 on the way. I'm going to number the episodes now just to make it an easier order for me. But I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.